like a paper toy. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, no, no, no. When they smile at you, darling, and wink, it's a lethal force that'll bring you down. Trying to get you tipsy like a drink. Love drunk girls all over town.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Ruby.
Welcome to
It's Layered. We're in a long distance friendship that started nearly 20 years ago when we were in high school.
Yeah, the new year has come. We'll be talking about all things life, love, family, anything and everything else under the sun.
Delve deeper with us, because in life, you know, Gine Malay. It's stacked up.
The worst kind of layers.
Sometimes. So.
How are you, my love, since we last spoke?
I am uber duper. I'm pretty good. I won't lie. I'm doing
That's
well.
Good. You look good.
I'm
liking the 90s vibe.
Hey, Aliyah, my girl. Hey.
Oh, for those who can't see Rumbi, she's dressed up in a 90s vibe. Sorry, I just realized not everyone actually watches us. Not everyone watches our noggin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she looks really cool.
Thank you. And so do you. I love I'm here for a nice headscarf. So, hey, girl.
Yeah. When you don't want to do your hair.
Bruh, it's the greatest plug. It's the greatest plug.
Seeing you and the way you're dressed, you're just making me think of those old school movies. Yeah. So like music videos. How tied were you to watching TV or film? That's actually a good topic for the day.
Yeah, that's so girl. You know, the like when parents would be like, hey, munonya TV, then muchi chikoros TV, what. Like basically, if only you learned as hard as y'all watch TV. I was that kid. Like, the heck. Escapism in its purest form. Like, that is me. Like, I wouldn't deny. Yeah, and you?
I'm the same as you. And I think boarding school made it even worse.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden TV was like a reward or access, right? Because like, I remember in school, obviously you don't watch TV every day. So people who went to day school wouldn't relate, but boarders would know. And then when you go back home for fixture free weekend or weekend off, you'd be like, I got to catch up on my music videos, my TV, my films, so like definitely a lot of street smarts from watching TV and films.
Absolutely. And remember how like we only got to watch TV at the weekend on Saturday night, and then when we were seniors, we got to watch sometimes Sunday mornings or something, and then that's when we catch up on Prison. Amanda used to hook us up because her brother would hook us up with Prison Break. So
I was the plug.
She was the plug, and we'll be there like, ooh, and then you have to wait the next. I don't know what for the next episode. It was litty. It was
yeah. I don't want to call out my brother and his piracy ways, but we were happy for.
We were in it, in it to win it. Sorry, calm down. Anyway,
Prison Break was a whole vibe.
Yeah,
that was a whole.
It was a moment in our high school. Did you ever like get the? Well, rather, were you ever allowed to watch? Like, how young were you when you first got to watch TV, or like were you policed from a young age, or it was like free for all? Like,
it depends. Like I felt like my parents, obviously, like when you get cable, what people know as cable TV or DSTV. My parents started like with the whole locking, because I guess when you buy it, people say you should lock the 18 above movies, but then like passcode was like 0000. So we're like, Valley. So pretty much our TV wasn't really locked, but I think it wasn't an issue. Like, it's kind of funny. It wasn't an issue if it's violent. It was more an issue if it was sexual.
Oh, yes.
So if you're watching something that had like a lot of swear words or violence, if it's alone, Rambo, killing people, my dad wouldn't bat an eye. But if like you're watching like Sunset Beach and there's lots of kissing and Call de Chanel and all that, my dad would be like, hey, can you please? So it just really we were exposed to it from the beginning, like from a young age. I remember in the morning waking up to watch cartoons when I was in primary school.
Yes.
And then I think like Wednesday nights, they used to have like Astra Movie of the Week. Like ZBC used to slap.
Yeah.
And like we would watch and like obviously stay up a little bit later on a Wednesday night. So I don't think it was ever an issue if the movie wasn't sexual.
Yes.
But if the movie had lots of kissing, that would not fly in my house.
Yeah, for sure. And I get that.
What about you?
Yeah, I remember same sort of scenario. They used to lock like certain movies at a certain age, above a certain age group. But I think, you know, we used to actually watch TV from a really young age. The same thing. I've forgotten the name of these cartoons, but obviously your Tom and Jerry's. And we didn't live in Zim when I was really young. So we had exposure to multi-choice like quite early because we lived in Ghana at the time. So then we'd watch all those cartoons. But my dad actually got us a tape of all of the makings of Michael Jackson's Thriller videos. So we wouldn't necessarily just be sitting in front of the TV watching videos. We just like loop the same video, learning the dance moves.
And learn the dance moves, of course.
Over and over again. And then when we moved back to Zim, Joy TV was introduced. Remember Joy TV?
Joy TV.
Yes. And that's where Santa
Family
Bishop was.
Entertainment. Yeah, I even remember that.
Oh my God. The jingle. And it came to save our lives and we were there.
Yeah.
Like, so definitely, but it was always like, oh, you're still watching TV. But for the most part, it was, I was there in front of the screen.
Isn't that kind of weird though? How like we pretty much had state TV, like only one. If you didn't get any sort of like multi-choice or DSTV, you only had ZTV, you know. So when Joy TV came, and I remember it wasn't offered in each city. Because I remember when I went to Bulawayo to my cousin's place, and they didn't have it. I was like, oh, why did I come here for holiday if we don't get Joy TV? Like, you know, but like, it's just so funny. Like, it was actually quite a privilege to have a TV station that had like, because I think they had ZBC, then ZBC2, which just ran the same programs, but like 2 hours later or something. But like, TV was a whole...
when DSTV came in hot, we were there. And you used to like time your shows. Like you used to time your shows, award shows that you wanted to watch. Anyway, but I digress. Yeah, man. Did you ever get the acting bug?
I think yes. There's a time like definitely in primary school, because I went to two primary schools when I was younger, and like both of them I did like school plays and stuff, but it wasn't ever taken seriously. It was just like a hobby, almost like if you don't want to do sports, you can do drama club kind of vibe. And then when we went to then we went to high school, I really remember like the first few years I wanted to do like drama and all that stuff, but it was a bit politicized in high school. So like even if you weren't the best person, like even remember you talked about your song that you want to perform last season when we did our music episode and how we weren't chosen in the end because it wasn't as if it was all based on talent. Sometimes it was like, you know, you needed to like who you knew. I felt like that stifled the acting bug. I remember in our sixth form year when obviously we were now in control, Laura, who actually does our theme song, and I directed, and you were there, so our drama show, and we won that year. So obviously the passion for it was there, but it just wasn't honed properly enough to like take it anywhere. So I suppose acting bug in a nutshell, probably no.
I get you.
And you, what do you reckon?
I think I definitely had it from, you know, being that my family moved a lot, I was a very introverted person and I struggled with the changes like all the time. So I then would pour myself into like extramural. And my very first memory is when I was in grade 0, when we lived in was it grade 0 in South Africa or first grade or something when we were in Ghana. I was in a play and I played Mrs. Claus. And I remember like just being sort of free on the stage. So I've always had that kind of thing. Obviously, like you said, not taken seriously, like what you doing, girl, like calm down. And yeah, it's one of those things that I've done on and off over the course of like my schooling career. And I remember the plays we we did, and I think in sixth form, we did A Raisin in the Sun. Yeah, I think Laura was also in that one. That was the last play I remember being in, but definitely had it. I think there's something quite fascinating about it. So acting bug, yes, but like as a profession, no. Yeah, if that makes sense. Like I did it.
Yeah, no, it totally does make sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was no real space for it, really.
Yes. It was like my Popeye, Mrungo Tamba Tamba, like, you know what I mean? Like, no one's going to take you seriously.
Yeah. And the performances you did for, like, we used to do performances for our parents, like the nativity play at Christmas time, or like just dance performances. But it's like, you knew it was just to while up your time. I mean, kids today will probably just use that time to play on their iPad or something, you know.
Savage.
So wasn't really that. But speaking about that, which TV shows do you like? Like currently or past?
Okay, so I'll list my all-time favorites. Like first, Mad Men, an all-time favorite. Like
I knew that was coming. Sorry.
why you gotta?
No, I sorry. I should act like I don't know you. So
yeah. Pretend. Be like, oh my goodness, Rumbi, you like it? No, I love Mad Men. I think it's one of those. You either like it or you don't. It's very slow moving, but the character development. I felt like the last season and maybe the last two seasons were a bit rushed because they were trying to close off stories a bit too quickly. But I just love that progression and seeing these characters, Peggy Olsen and how she, anyway, that's too much information. All-time favorite, like the aesthetic.
You can clearly see I didn't watch the show. I'm like, Peggy, who?
Don Draper, you know Don Draper though. Like
we all do because John Hamm is amazing.
Yes,
so sexy.
Exactly.
But apart, if he wasn't sexy, then we would be like, who?
who are you talking about? So yeah, that was good. And also like the stereotypes, how they go into like societal things. Anyway. Insecure, hands down, my girl Issa Rae.
Yes, now you have arrived, Rumbi. With Mad Men, you had lost us. Mad Men, we were quiet. Now we are hype for Insecure.
Why are you this person? Why are you this person? But yeah, Insecure. The awkward black girl shenanigans so relate to like Issa Rae and her story, and just absolutely love it. And then Keeping Up with the Kardashians is my guilty pleasure. If anyone knows, the other day I started watching like the first episode of this is their final season after 20 years.
I think everybody knows because people are like, okay, thank you.
I got emotional. I got the only one
emotional.
I literally was like,
I was sending you the news or something, and you were like, what? Oh no. I was like, girl, the rest of us are like, thank God.
No, but basically I couldn't watch it. I got very sad and I was like, it's too soon. It's too soon for me to watch the final season. So I'm just...
You've been watching this 20 seasons. That's a whole lot.
But if you see the progress, I have mad respect for Kris Jenner, okay? She be knowing what she was doing. So yeah. And you, what are your shows? I mean, there are many, many others. I watch so much TV, but I could go on, really, honestly.
Yeah. I'm the same as you. I watch a whole lot. You actually didn't tell me which ones you hated, so I need to revert back.
Yeah.
But I love shows that are like, sometimes it depends on my mood. I love a lot of action, sometimes a lot of like black love. So Insecure and them I relate to really deeply. But then I also like some shows that are just like fast-paced and fun. So I think like Scandal, the first season or second season was like my jam because it was fast, there was a story, but then like just the way Shonda Rhimes did that really, really, I find like for me, I guess a lot of Shonda Rhimes shows, well, there's only Scandal and Grey's Anatomy that I kind of watched. They start out really good and then like, I don't know, gets stale for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, but I do love them when I'm like in the beginning. Otherwise, I used to love a lot of crime and procedural movies.
CSI was your jam though, remember?
Yes, CSI was my jam and then I did forensics. So that just tied it up for me. And obviously, when you were young, that showed me a whole new world. I never heard of forensics before. And yes, when you actually do study forensics, it's nothing like CSI. So, it's very bookworm. Be ready for a lot of chemistry. No running in heels, chasing nobody. But, you know, at the time, but it did inspire me to look at a different world, which I think TV has that. I like that credit we can give to TV for showing you or teaching you something, hopefully, if it's good. You can learn a lot of things along the way.
And I may destroy you. I think that's like
I may destroy you. Yes. I was gonna go into that when I talk about actresses, but Michaela Cole and Issa Rae wants to watch for sure. Everything they're touching is just
mad respect. Like I wish, like we are friends in my heart and in my spirit, but it's okay. But yeah,
definitely.
What about shows you hate or dislike? Hate is a strong word. Dislike.
Yeah, hate is a strong word. I should probably say dislike. But I don't really have ones that come to mind like, oh, I never watched this.
Yeah.
I suppose reality shows. I don't really do many reality shows. I don't really like all these vlogs and stuff that are starting up these days.
Yeah.
But that's not really TV. That's more like YouTube. I suppose. I don't know what you. But I think it just sells people fake dreams and people hold on to that. And sometimes I don't mind tutorials because you're learning something. But the ones where I'm just like seeing someone's life or reaction videos, I'm like, wait, why am I watching you react to? I can just react to it myself. Like, I don't need to watch you react to the video. Like, I don't get them.
And the way, guys, I love YouTube. Like, honestly, I'd love to just see ordinary people. Like, also depends what YouTube video you watch, but I just like to watch people. Like, I'm like, sometimes like television is really produced, like it's very like produced,
I get you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like, YouTube is my jam. But I get you. Why are we watching you live your life? It's like Big Brother. Like, you know, the whole
especially because like a lot of these things, like, months later you find out they broke up or they were doing it for the money. And you're like, so what was I watching all along? What did I buy into? You know, I think that's the thing with reality shows for me, even with the keeping up with the Kardashians, I suppose you just mentioned. My whole thing with that is just that why am I watching you? At least with the TV, I get that they're acting, so that I'm buying into the character development, I'm buying into the story. Absolutely. But for reality shows, I'm like, am I watching to mock you, to laugh at you? Like, what's the
100%? You know, 100% people watch it for that, is to be like, oh, I'm better than that. Oh, my life isn't so bad. Or like, oh, wow, what a nice life. That's hard.
Yeah, but I guess it's just not my jam. It's just
for sure.
Yeah. And for you, what do you like go?
Okay, shows I never got into, and people gonna hate me for this. Guys, I made it to like season 5 of this show, and I never understood it. What's that? It's not Lord of the Flies. What's that thing? Game of Thrones, that thing.
People are gonna come for you.
Like, guys, and the thing is, you know, people are like, give it time. I made it to like season 5 or season 4, I think. And like, it's interesting, but I was just like, this is a messed up-ish. I just remember being like, like a red wedding. I was like, I even know reference points. Points. But
well, you have to, it's all over the
honestly,
media anyway.
I struggle to watch period pieces, especially like that type, because, and this is going to sound so shallow, but the people don't look like they bathed, and that is problematic for me.
Okay.
I know it sounds so like it's the most but there's
so you think when you're watching TV it should be aesthetically pleasing?
Yes, it's like if you watch something and it's freezing, I automatically get cold. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, when I watch something, I feel.
But May I Destroy You is not aesthetically pleasing. She's showing us periods and blood clots.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. It wasn't fun, but she's brilliant, and now she does it. Don't get me wrong.
But that's what I'm saying.
These are just additional things that I give. Like, I couldn't watch Lord of the Rings. It's just cold. You're just fighting with the wind. Just walk. I mean, come on, you know. But I understand that it's just how, like, anything goes. I think that was it for Game of Thrones. Like, anything can happen, and it's realistic, and you're like, that's how life happens. So definitely that. I don't know what else. Breaking Bad, I like watched like. Okay, I only watched like 1 episode, to be honest. So I can't.
Okay, Rumbi, maybe you need to like actually not say anything in this episode, because you're gonna lose a lot of people gonna be looking at you. Like I'm joking.
Who are you? No, honestly, like, it just, some things just bite, some things don't. Like, some things that are huge, like I loved House of Cards. That's brilliant. Like, so it just depends.
House of Cards is problematic for me because I loved it. Then Kevin Spacey went and did what he did.
I stopped watching. I stopped
now
watching
it's like no, but then like if you're like when I watched, I used to watch on time. So literally he had finished season 4, it was, and then the Guans came out. And then season 5, they had to kill him off camera because obviously the Guans had come. So now, like, you're thinking, wow, I invested like 4 years because it's Netflix, right? So it's every year. 4 years of my life. And then he goes and so it's so funny how your outside world can come into the actors world, can come into, because like even with Power, I love Power.
Yeah.
But then I think for me, I like shows that are like sleeper, like no one really knows about them. Then they garner interest, but then sometimes when they garner the interest, then they lose the scope of the what
they're
makes
trying to keep the viewers,
I felt like
excitement.
Power was so nice, and then 50 Cent just got like more involved, and then it just.
And then now, how many things do they have?
And then, exactly, and like Empire was the same. Like first season, I was like, finally, black cable, black people on prime time, slime time slot, great. And then like Taraji and whatever, they just got too stereotypical. And then so it's almost like some shows need one season back, limited series, and you're on.
I'm with you totally. What about films that you like or hate? Hey, hate is so strong.
So films, I'm into thrillers. Like Denzel Washington is my man. Like I've watched every single movie he's made. My husband knows if Denzel has a movie, we're going. We're going, not streaming. We're not watching at home. We're going to the cinema. We're buying popcorn. We're making this movie a whole experience. I need to. And then now to see his son like rising up, I'm like, yes,
John David, that's your seed and his talent and his looks. Come through.
You get it. So like I love a lot of thriller movies, which he does. A lot of action, which he does. I'm not into rom-coms. I'm sorry. Again, same thing as reality TV. Selling us dreams. I don't like it. So I really, really struggle with rom-coms. I'll watch one. Or like I'll watch depending on if it's like an ensemble cast or I'll watch it.
Or something like How to Ruin Christmas, which was rom-com, but it also gave us like reality and
exactly. And that also had another
diversity.
Exactly. South African, so it's like it has to have something else to it, but just the standard rom-com boy meets girl kind of vibes.
Yeah, it's getting tired.
Especially in a white space, no offense, but like I'm just tired of that, really. I don't watch them.
I actually haven't watched a rom-com that I've loved in a hot minute. Like I can't think of a new one that I was like, oh my goodness. Not there.
Yeah. What about you when it comes to films?
Thriller, 110%. Like it can't be horror because I don't do horrors, but like the thrill of like who
I can't
is
sleep.
This? I can't do horror, but like things that make your brain tick, and I like psychological thrillers. I like things that make you like, and then on a blockbuster level, I like the Inceptions of the world, where it's just like, so what happened there?
Like or mind twisting.
Or Tenet with John David Washington, my man. Sorry, not my man. And then, so I like those. Then I also like, I recently watched Red Dragon again, which was on the verge of horror, but like it's the Silence of the Lambs, it's
like more psychological than scaring you. Horror.
So I like a good thriller. I liked, what's that one again? It had Kevin Spacey, The Usual Suspects, who's like first like older movies. Now Kevin Spacey's not.
Seven is a good one. That's another.
I haven't watched it. I started watching it, but I haven't finished watching it. So definitely thriller. I love action. Like for me, going to the movie, it has to be like the pow pow, like to the cinema. I want the sound effects. I want the boom boom pow. I like Marvel because they gave us Black Panther, but at heart, I'm a DC girl because Batman is like my favorite superhero. But like I like that action, like boom boom boom, like I'm in. It's
pure entertainment when it comes to the action space. It's like are you entertained? Like that is literally.
Then definitely drama. Like I love like inspirational dramas. Like Speaking of your man Denzel, remember the Titans. I love a lot of them with sport, like regarding sport for some reason. They really move me. True stories and things. So, girl, I could go on, but those are rom-coms I enjoy. I won't lie, but I just haven't had one. Like, you know, Love Actuallys of the world, Bridget Jones' Diaries, like those classic type. But otherwise, I can't think of anything. Definitely not horrors. Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah.
Fantasy, I struggle with as well. I struggle with fantasy.
Fantasy sometimes can be too long. Like, my husband loves The Hobbit, and I'm like, bruh. I fell asleep. Like, he's like, I come to watch yours with you, so you have to come. I fell asleep.
It's tough.
I paid for my tickets. I paid for the tickets, so I supported, but I fell asleep. So, and it's so funny how, like, documentaries as well just got me thinking, like, growing that space. Like, Netflix has really been doing a lot of documentaries.
Good
like,
ones,
like, talked about sports, and I'm in love with the Formula One Drive to Survive.
I haven't started watching it.
It's like they're 3 seasons in, and then also seeing like Lewis Hamilton kill it. You're like,
that's dope.
So I feel like documentaries are also another good way to like introduce you to a space that you might not be so familiar with, and these true crimes that are coming out.
I was gonna say those ones are the ones. Like literally, what's that one we watched where the dude ended up? Okay, I don't want to.
I know with
the family situation.
I'm gonna have to say before this episode, there's a lot of spoilers.
But that one, like I love even Ted Bundy tapes on Netflix. Yes. Oh my soul, like girl, we could go on.
We've gone on about. Yeah, I was about to say we've gone on about actors. Yeah. What about actresses? Obviously, we've said Denzel Washington, John David.
Has to be Issa Rae, my girl, again, because she's a triple threat, multi boom boom. Yes. I don't know what that was, but like she's
her action sound
brilliant. I love like the names? Why are the names like now?
Michaela Cole is killing it as well.
Killing it.
Mentioned.
And I just love how she's repping for Black girls, like just so beautifully. I love Viola Davis, just like
Viola Davis. Yes.
And she's also real. Like if you follow her on like Facebook, you see the things she posts. She feels relatable. Like she's just another woman.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she feels like that auntie that's actually with it. Not trying to be cool. Not trying to be cool auntie.
Absolutely.
Not you, the one who's telling you off auntie. Just the auntie who's chilled and cool with it.
For sure.
Like naturally.
No, for sure. Who else do
it's such a good space actually for Black actresses and actors
right now.
At the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's so many. I'm trying to think of other like younger ones. I don't know.
Are there any that you dislike? So when you see them, you're like, maybe not.
This is gonna sound like I'm a hater.
Like for me, if I see a movie with Anthony Hopkins, I'm like, I'm there.
Yes.
If I see a movie with Denzel Washington, I'm like, I'm there. Yes. Don't even put the trailer on, boo. I'm watching.
There. Don't worry.
Davis, I'm watching.
Leonardo DiCaprio, for me, anything I'm just there, except that one that he ended up winning the Oscar for. I couldn't do it. It was a bit too
the one when he's hiding in a carcass.
No, couldn't do that.
The Frozen one. Were you
freezing that? Honestly, I started watching. I was like, it is too cold up in here. Like, this is just doing too much. Nope.
Revenant.
Revenant. Yeah. He's my favorite actor, I think, in terms of just like the roles he's played and just how that man.
The growth as well. Sometimes it's nice to see, because you think of them in Titanic and you see him and Kate Winslet now, and you're
I also love Kate too.
How? They've really, really grown.
But he was also great in Who Killed Gilbert Grape? What's that? I forget the movie. Like that, he was very young, brilliant. But I don't like, and I love, and I will support. I will watch. But
I feel like we're about to get a bomb here. Let me get ready.
I don't like Yara Shahidi. I don't think she can particularly act.
I don't really know much about her.
Yeah, she's not really.
Is she? I don't know. So I actually know from a fashion point of view.
Yeah, grownish. Yeah. She kills it in the game, but like it's just there's nothing there. Really?
No, really.
I'm not getting much from her.
You're not encouraging me to watch her movies because I haven't really watched TV shows.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
That sounds wrong, but it's the truth. But I still support. I still watch like here and there, but because that's the only person I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, what about you?
But you're like, no thanks.
Yeah.
I think for me it comes to comedy. I'm very, very protective of comedy. There's some that I like, then some that I'm just like, no.
About it.
So Will Ferrell, hell no. I'm not watching anything.
No.
I'm like, watch all you want, guys. I will not be there.
Yeah,
and
100%.
For me, Jim Carrey lost me somewhere. Like when I was a kid, I remember liking him.
In
like Dennis the Menace, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then like something happened. And then now he also went there for me. Like there's just some people I just never. And it's so funny because Will Ferrell, I work in a white space, predominantly white space. So I know when I'm talking to white guys and they're like, I'm like, I don't like Will Ferrell. Like, oh, what? Oh my God. Like quoting his quotes and his movies. And in The Anchorman, he did this. And I'm just just not my jam. First. He's just not for me.
100%.
I do not relate to him. I don't like his type of comedy. So it's pretty. And sometimes, and people are going to come for me for this one, Kevin Hart gives me those vibes.
Agree.
I sometimes just think, you short little man, can you just no?
For me, it's also like he's the same character in a lot of, you know what I mean? Like he's not changing. It's the same. He's the same character. You know.
Yeah. To be honest, there's a lot of actors like The Rock as well.
Yes. But I do.
But I know with Kevin Hart,
I have a soft spot for The Rock. But yeah, I get you. And for me,
I don't know with Kevin Hart, it's annoying.
It's Medea for me. I can't.
Yes, Tyler Perry.
Medea.
I love that he has his own studio.
Yeah, he's making the money. Yeah, but
to that. But why does he have to do those Medea?
Can't do it.
And even without the Medea characters, it's like, why?
The last really good movie he did was For Colored Girls, I think.
Yes. But see, he wasn't like, I just feel like, and like even with Kevin Hart, his stand-up is good, but unfortunately, I don't know, his movies aren't as good for me.
For sure.
So.
Like his remake of that French film, I watched the French film, and then I was like, this, no.
The French actor that I love, Omar Sy, shout out, he's really
brilliant, good. All right, and streaming services, are you a yay or a nay girl about that?
I am a yay. Even before COVID, because a lot of people obviously had to go streaming.
I was there.
I loved it. When Netflix launched and they had House of Cards and Orange is the New Black, I was there watching. Because binge watching for me is perfect. I don't always, in my day, I don't always have a set time to watch TV now. Like sometimes I just don't have a block of time to watch. And then also I hate ads. So this just is the perfect marriage for me. Because on a Saturday, when I do have a couple of hours, I can go through half a season.
When you're doing
what I mean?
Hair,
I'm doing my hair because exactly. So streaming services, just Netflix in particular, just really like filled that void I didn't know I had.
100%. And for me, when they started bringing like African shows, like it's such a treat for me to be all the way here and I can still catch up. Like I watch South African shows or other African shows before people back home. They'll be like, oh, you know what I mean? Because like, like you get to feel like it's like this hunger to have people from home.
Yes, for sure.
I am there with what I will say is a nay is that there are 5 million streaming platforms. Like who got that money? Like come on, let's just have
and they're all competing heavily now. So it's like you will get the same actor with a movie like on different, like it's just it's become a bit confusing. I mean Netflix, to be honest, is a mainstay still in our house. Like that one is a standard. Then all the other ones are as needed, or if there's something that I really want to watch, or I'll share my subscription with someone else. Don't come for me, please. Because it's just
there's just too much.
It's convenient.
And Netflix, I feel like, is relatable. They also understand user experience because some of these. Have you been on HBO?
I know.
HBO, I'm like, who's using this? Like, why is this?
Why is even Apple TV is hard to navigate?
Netflix understood.
And I feel like Netflix are pushing local content. So if you're Indian, if you, as you said, you're seeing things from different cultural backgrounds as well. So they're feeding really into that, into developing content from wherever they are based. So like the cook-off, obviously for us was really brilliant to see a Zimbabwean movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you didn't watch
Shona,
it,
and
check
it's
it
like,
out.
yes, please, the cook-off, it's amazing. It's really good. It's a rom-com in a way as well, and a bit of a drama, but it's really good. Really,
they did it very well, very, very well. So before we close off, any recommendations, TV, film, must see, like people need to be?
Well, goes without saying Insecure. If you live under a rock and you haven't watched Insecure, please,
I don't know.
Please.
I almost cried when they announced that season 5 is going to be the final. Like,
I know.
I will cry.
At the same time, I'm like, I feel like no matter what ending they will have, we will be touched because we don't want it to end.
Yes.
So yeah, Insecure is definitely one of mine when it comes to TV. When it comes to films, as I said, I'm a Denzel stan, so anything he has done, please make sure to watch it.
For sure.
So yeah, I don't really, apart from Insecure in terms of being loyal and I have to watch as soon as it's out, I don't really have that kind of loyalty with any other show. Yeah. What about you?
So I recently, I was late to the party, but I got into that party with I May Destroy You. I think some people don't. I know it touches on a difficult subject, but I just love the nuances of each character. She just did a brilliant job. So it's a binge. It's 12 episodes, one season. Like I May Destroy You, Michaela Cole did the things. Film recommendations, anything with Leonardo, maybe except The Revenant, you're excused. But he's just really, really brilliant as an actor, deserving all of his flowers. Oh, of course, Judas and the Black Messiah, which is Oscar nominated.
Yes, there's another. That's about to say that there's like a new crew that's coming. You know, Stanfield, Daniel Kulua, because there's like an underlying handing the mantle. You know, when they're getting too old, they're handing the mantle to these young guns, and they're coming through. That
was brilliant. And then also, if you can watch the Tina Turner's documentary about her life, that was really really powerful to see. So yeah, those are my reckies for y'all to see. And last one is Finding Joe. It's on YouTube, so you don't even need subscriptions for nada. It's on YouTube. It's a full film, like a documentary film. It's really powerful about life and what the meaning of life and purpose. Yeah,
it's funny you spoke about documentaries. Quickly recommending, because I remember when I first saw The Secret, and I know maybe now people don't really, but that whole concept pretty much changed my life. Like to be grateful no matter what, to change your mindset. I think that it's birthed a lot of self-help and self-awareness books, you know, and self-awareness stuff and affirmations and all that. And I'm really, really a sucker for all those things. And I think a lot of people were doing it without really realizing. And then you'd always think, how do you, navigate? You seem so strong. You seem so... And then it was like a metamorphosis for me to find that. And when I watched it, I was going through a really tough time here all alone and all that stuff. And it really, really just the power of being grateful and the power of saying thank you to things. And obviously there's all scandals attached to all these things, and all these actors and actresses aren't always going to be perfect. But this might not age well. Michaela Cole and Issa Rae might do something.
But for right now,
left.
But for right now.
But sometimes you have to take their talents and their flowers for as they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So that's the end of our episode. Obviously, it was a very kiki, laughing episode. But I mean, film and TV are meant to make us feel good and elevate the mood and get us thinking on a different wavelength. And on that note, shout out for this episode is Yeve Sibanda. I'll let Rimbi tell us a bit more about her.
Awesome. So Yeve Sibanda, we actually went to, she was a senior for us when we were in high school. She is an author, a speaker, and a coach. And why we're shouting her out, she wrote a book, my first book of Shona and Ndebele words. So imagine having a book to give your children to learn their Shona and Ndebele words. I think it's such a beautiful thing to have a Zimbabwean woman write this and make it available so that generations can keep our language, our culture going.
Yes,
I know
sure.
I'll absolutely like when the time comes, having children to have that.
Are you telling us something, Rumbi?
Wait, calm down. Suspense. So definitely check her out. She's on Instagram at yeve.c.sibanda. That's at YEVE.c.SIBANDA. Shout out to you for doing the things and representing the culture. Yes. That's us for today. Amanda, I had so much fun. It was really good.
I know. I feel like, oh my God, now all these other movies and TV shows.
Yeah. It's too short. It's too short.
What about this one? What about that? So we probably will share some posts and recommendations, maybe a list each, and you guys can check them out if you would like to.
Awesome. Have a beautiful day, evening, whatever, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Careful of those eyes.